Good afternoon, Twin City Startup Week. My name is Rukia Sheikh-Mohamed, here with my awesome coworker, James Tucker. I'm a full-stack developer currently working at Soona, which is a Minneapolis Startup Week. We also have locations in Denver, Austin, and virtually anywhere. I'll talk more about that a little later. A little about me. I'm a new mom, a fashion and art lover, speaker, and foodie. I've been in the tech world for a little over 3 years now, and I came from a non-traditional background, the legal field. I made the switch and it was the best decision I made, and I haven't looked back since. My passion for art and fashion drew me to Soona. It allowed me the opportunity to bring technology to the arts. Traditionally, it's hard to think those two worlds play well together, but tech is redefining art. The way we see it, our work is helping carve out a new technology. With the combination of art and tech, we've created a new category, fast casual content. Our tech enhances photographers' jobs, it doesn't replace it. Our tech enhances the creative process, allowing collaboration from virtually anywhere for our team and our clients. Our tech enhances the client experience, making content creation accessible. Now I'll pass it along to my colleague, James.
Hi, yeah, and I'm James, and I am also a full stack developer at Soona, and I've been working at Soona for about a year and a half, and I love it. This is actually my first developer job, completely changed careers to get into development. You can see from these photos here that I'm all about my dog daughter, Solveig, and when I'm not coding, I'm usually spending time with them, out with my wife, just exploring the outdoors or something new. So just quickly go over the agenda, what you can expect from this talk. We have 4 main points we'll be talking about, right? And so there's going to be fast casual content, enhancing the customer's experience. The second point we'll be going over is enhancing the photographer's job. The third point we'll be going over giving creatives how Soona gives creatives a new way to work. And then finally, the last point will just be how Soona, how we've enabled our creatives to do work from home. And at the very end of this talk, we will have about 10 to 15 minutes for a live question and answer. All right, so that brings us to our first point, fast casual content, enhancing the customer experience. So what is fast casual content? It's kind of a term maybe you've never heard of before. Maybe you've heard of fast casual food. When you think of that, you think of a place like maybe Steak Shack, which I guess they don't have much of that here in Minnesota, but you might think of a place like Chipotle, right? You can just go in, you can get food that's better quality than McDonald's, right? But you don't have to order a huge, 5-course meal from like Birch's Steakhouse. You can just go in, you can choose your ingredients, and based on what you add, that's how much your burrito is going to cost. In the same way, Soona, we've created this whole new category where clients who need amazing media for their businesses or for their own personal life, they don't have to pay a huge upfront cost to get the content, and they can kind of choose their content a la carte, the same way Chipotle allows you to choose your food, and yet not sacrifice any quality. So our technology, it enhances the client experience. You can see some of our photos here that we've taken from our clients. And so one thing at Soona, we're customer obsessed, right? And we believe that our technology, we've designed our technology in such a way where we want there to be the synergy between, our tech and our creatives, and we listen to our creatives. This technology team, we listen to the creatives and their needs for how to make the client experience as accessible, as affordable, as available as possible. One of the most successful companies that has ever existed in human history, is Amazon, right? And we might have some very mixed feelings about whether or not they're good for the world. It's a tricky topic. But regardless of what you think about Amazon, you cannot deny that the customer experience that they offer is phenomenal. It's out of the world. In fact, if you go on YouTube and you look up early videos of Jeff Bezos and just him being asked, like, what's your mission for Amazon? Like, what's your focus? What's your passion? He consistently talks about how he wants his business to be focused on the customer as much as possible. He says, the most important single thing is to focus obsessively on the customer. Our goal is to be Earth's most customer-centric company. In the same way at Soona is we want to use technology to do the same thing. We want acquiring incredible media content to be as easy and fun as possible. Quality content, so our mission is, our story, we want quality content for all. We want it to be affordable, we want it to be accessible, and we want it to be available. And our technology enables us to do that. Soona, we're affordable, we're actually cheaper than stock, and so not only are you getting personalized photos, these photos are still cheaper than buying stock photography. Soona is accessible. It is so easy to gain access to our services, to gain access to the content that we're creating for you. At Soona, you can shop your content in real time as we create it in the studio. And not only that, and one of the things that I love most about Soona is just that we've enabled high quality content creation to be made accessible for people of any socioeconomic background, right? So, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to have beautiful products, photos or whatnot for your online website, for your Shopify store, and you want a custom made video, it could be really expensive to book a traditional video crew in the normal sense, right? You might, I don't know, maybe run $5,000 to $10,000 to book a crew for a day or two. And it's just if you're just starting out, you just might not be able to afford that. But because of Soona and our pricing model, because of how we streamline things, because of our technology, we've been able to be able to keep a price point that allows people from any stage of life to be able to walk in and get amazing content. And then, Soona, we're also available anytime. Getting our content is as easy as visiting our studio and bringing yourself, your product, or your ideas. And it's as easy as shipping your product to our studio and shopping your content within 24 hours. So how does our technology help us fulfill our mission? Clients can book online on our booking website. Clients can receive their photos and videos quickly from our online platform. As soon as the shoot's over, and then the edits have been done by our studio staff, they can go right to their dashboard and they can click a download button and have all their photos right there. All in one place, their photos are right there. And they get their content within 24 hours. That's our promise to the customer, is that after the shoot's done, you can receive your edits within 24 hours. We've made it easy if you need additional services for your shoots, such as a hand model or a pet model, you need styling, or you need somebody to go out and find props for your shoot. You can easily select it right there as you're making the booking, so you know exactly what's available for you, and so that our crew knows exactly what you need. That kind of wraps it up for how we enhance our technology enhances the client experience. And maybe I was trying to think, what are a couple takeaways that you might be able to walk away with for this section? And I think one of them is maybe, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, I think it's important that, and Soona proves that if you delight your customers, if you make their experience amazing, that the profits, they're just going to come, right? Like, don't necessarily focus on the profits, focus on your customer, and that's when you're going to be successful. And then make your services as convenient as possible. Remove as many obstacles as you can to your customers getting what they need. So I think those are a couple of things you can get from this. And so I will pass it on to Rukia for the next point.
Thank you, James. So James did a really great job on summarizing the nucleus of our business, which is our customers. Now to the second part, which is our photographers. Our tech at Soona enhances photographers' jobs. It doesn't replace it. What does that mean? In a decade of robots and automations that are automating all the things, we've taken a different approach for our tech to empower our photographers and to help them to focus on their art and master their craft and continue to kill our client shoots. We have a bunch of different ways of doing that. So the three main areas I'm going to focus on is our crew features, our SoonaBot integration, and our scheduling. So the first part of our crew features I'll be focusing on is actually, let me just backtrack. What do I mean by that? So specific features we create to ensure a smooth and seamless workflow, automate tedious manual processes, and centralize the workflow within our app. The first one I'm going to start off with is crew notes. So crew notes is a centralized place for our crew members to communicate about shot details, customer requests, asset attachments, and much more. Here's an example of crew notes that I will be walking you all through. So here we have our client, Twin Cities Startup Week, and they have a really fun booking with us, and there's a crew section meant for only admins. And here you'll see that our photographer, James, is giving some helpful tips about the different styling, our client style guides that they have that the James can use to help with the shoot. We also have our other photographer, Rukia, who's talking about the different types of things that the client prefers. And yeah, so that is an example of one way that our crew features helps our photographers. Another one is crew assignment. So another way our tech enhances the photographer's job is to automate the automation of crew assignment, where a crew members are assigned to booking through our app. So before it was a very tedious spreadsheeting, shuffling through scheduling, and multiple modes of communication. And the payoff that we offer our photographers is more time. So before I hop into the example, I'll just talk a little bit more about what crew assignments can actually do. It's where our studio managers can go in and automatically assign photographers to shoots and editors and sidekicks. Our app also automatically notifies through Soonabot and their calendar. I can just show you an example here. So here we have the Twin City Startup Week client, and I'm gonna go in and just say I want James to be the photographer, and I also want Rukia to be the sidekick, let's say. And I also want Rukia to also be the editor. So what that does is it allows our photographers to capture all the Soona client art and not worry about keeping up with their busy schedule. It's a very easy and smooth process that gets triggered with just a click of one button. So all the ways that they get notified is in their dashboard, there's a My Assignment section where they can see all their information. They also get a Slack notification whenever they're assigned a booking, and they also get a Google Calendar invite. And it's amazing how our tech can just do that within one click of a button. So moving on to Soonabot. What is Soonabot? Soonabot is our almost human crew member. We created a Slack integration where we communicate and automate a lot of our processes to empower our photographers and crew and save them time, and ultimately have them working smarter, not harder. How do we do that? It's a wide range of ways, such as getting a DM for when you're assigned a crew, when you're assigned a booking, when a new booking is made, when clients submit a shot list, or when they want a customized shot list, when a booking is wrapped and an editor is needed to be assigned and all they have to do is just simply click a button to assign an editor, when giving new employees access to our app, and it's centralizing all our new campaigns, Headshot for All, communication, and it creates a crew note when clients create quotes, and it also allows custom built-in customer requests. So what does Soonabot actually accomplish? It takes so many manual processes into one workflow, and it centralizes our crew's notifications so they can focus on their beautiful art and creative process, allowing them to serve our clients and drive our fast, casual content. Finally, moving on to the last part, scheduling. So the three main areas our tech enhances our photographer's job is through the core of the fast casual content, which is scheduling. With 3 locations, a virtual option, numerous types of bookings, and a 24-hour workaround, we ensure our scheduling is easy, convenient, and fast. Our tech allows majority of our bookings to be scheduled directly through our booking flow when customers schedule a booking. Here's an example of that. James showed you a little bit of that earlier, but I will show you how when a customer comes in and says, I want an in-studio booking in Minneapolis, they want photo, they pick their different types of photos that they need. They also pick how many photos that they need. If they need any props, tell us a little bit about their shoot. So this is also another one for Twin City Startup Week. And once they do that, they get to the scheduling. They can actually pick a date here. So let's say September 8th at 2:30. It's that simple. And our app handles all of the timing and the data in the back end. So they don't have to worry about that. And it's rendering real-time availability. And so they don't have to worry about any clashes. Our crew does not have to worry about any scheduling conflicts. Another way of scheduling our online shoots are done within our app. Once we get the customer shipment of products, we allow up to we actually schedule their bookings within 72 hours. And I'll show you an example of that. So for virtual bookings, our crew just goes in and clicks the scheduling tab, and they see that they click their location, they see that there's a unscheduled for Twin City Startup Week, and then they go into the same flow doing that. And it's literally that simple. They can also assign a crew member within there. This tedious process is done in an easy, convenient, and accurate, fast way that enhances the creative process and role for our crew. The three main areas that our crew features are SoonaBot, crew features, and scheduling, which allows our tech to unlock so many possibilities for our photographers and crew. So, what are the main takeaways for what we're doing with our crew, our tech for our crew? The first one is it's using tech to empower employees so they can focus on what they do best. The second one is as a business, you should think about how can I automate a tedious process for my employees, allowing them to be more efficient. And the third one is optimizing your time to ultimately give you more money. And now I'll pass it over to James to talk a little bit more about giving creative designers a new way to work.
All right, thanks, Rukia. So this point is just, you can see the header, giving creatives a new way to work. How does Soona leverage its technology to change the workflow of creatives? One of Rukia's points, she talked a lot about how we live in an age where there's tons of automation, right? And I think that there are a lot of people who are scared that automation is not going to necessarily make people's lives easier, but that AI and machine learning, what it's going to do is it's going to actually take away entire jobs, right? And if you remember from the presidential primaries, there was Andrew Yang, one of the candidates. One of his biggest things was just this question of how is technology going to impact people's work. And one of his main things on his platform was just how he was going to make changes to ensure that technology didn't steal everybody's job, or that people would be ready to adapt to the change that would come from, technology changing the work landscape. But here at Soona, there's really no fear of technology taking people's jobs. I think when we first started, we actually got we got some what's the word? Not slack, some slack, or we got some hate on social media because I think that some creatives thought that we were just going to be this factory, right, where people just would quickly come and get their stuff shot, and we would just churn things out quickly, or without maybe using robots or doing something where precious time and attention wasn't spent on the actual product, where art really wasn't being made. And we couldn't really consider ourselves a creative studio because we were so focused on just churning out content quickly. But what we're so proud of at Soona is that we've designed things in such a way where, like I said, we're not taking people's jobs. In fact, we're trying to hire. We're hiring great people to come in. We want to grow because we want to be able to hire more people, and we're using technology to enhance the workflow of our creatives. And in a traditional sense, I've never been a creative freelancer myself. I've never worked for an agency. I've done a lot of amateur photography for family and friends, but I can kind of tell you what the process is like. And whether you're a freelancer or you're working for that digital agency, a lot of your time as a creative is probably spent between two different things. It's spent between your creative work, which is obvious, you need that, but there's also the business side of things. And the reality is not everyone is not everybody wants to dip their toe into entrepreneurship. Not everyone wants to have to mess with those things, right? Like not everybody finds cold calling people to find clients or trying to run marketing campaigns, or even answering customer questions or doing customer service. Not everyone finds that appealing or attractive. And so what we do here at Soona is that we've created technology that kind of abstracts that away from our creatives. And yes, like if our creatives want to have their toes dipped into business, there's still ways they can do that. They can still reach out and find ways where they can interact with the business side of things. And that's one of the great things about startups is you can wear many hats and dip your toes in many different things. But we hire people who are great at taking photos. People, artists who are great at taking videos, and people who are great at editing, using Lightroom and Photoshop, and people who are great at making clients feel welcome and at ease and at home. And those are their strengths. And so we think that as a business, we really thrive when the people we hire can spend the majority of their time on their strengths. And so, I'm just going to go over a few examples of how our technology kind of streamlines the workflow for our creatives, and just enhance their job. And I think one of them is our C2C app. I won't get too nerdy with the technical details. As a developer, I might be prone to do that, to just kind of talk about the nerdy stuff, but I'm not going to do that. But C2C just stands for camera to cloud. So as soon as photos or videos are taken, the data is shot straight to some magical cloud somewhere in the world. And so, the photos and videos, like I said, they're directly uploaded to our computers, into our online storage. So our creatives don't have to go, and they don't have to upload every single image directly to their computer after they're done. In fact, what's really amazing is that there's real-time feedback. So when the creative and when the customer or the client is in our studio, our C2C app is also on our iPads. And as soon as a photo or video is taken or recorded, everybody can see it instantly on the iPad app. So there's just this instant feedback. If the client likes or doesn't like what they're what's being taken or how things are being shot, they can give feedback right away to the creative. And there doesn't have to be this long back and forth dialogue via email or through chat about what the customer needs, about what direction needs to be changed. It can all happen instantly because this technology is instant. And then we have our booking app. And it streamlines the creative workflow. In a traditional workflow, you go and, if you're a client and you say you've been to a wedding, right? Or not been to a wedding, it was your wedding and you had a wedding photographer, there's a huge chance that you wouldn't see your content until maybe 2 weeks to maybe a month after the whole thing happened, right? And then if you're creative, you shoot the wedding, and then you go back to your place, and then you spend like a week or two editing the content. And then you have to, there's more back and forth between the client, and eventually you email the photos to the client, or you upload it somewhere, and then you have to give access to that, and then it's just all this communication has to happen, all these files. There's so many touch points that have to happen in the traditional workflow, but we've designed our app to work in such a way where, look, we have a shot builder that allows customers to help crew know ahead of time what the client wants, right? So that the client, so that crew members can be comfortable knowing that, hey, we know what to expect coming into the shoot. And then we also design things in such a way where staff can upload the edited photos and videos directly to the client's online profiles. So, and then as soon as that happens, the client gets an email notification letting them know, hey, look, your content is ready. And as I said earlier, at Soona, we're so proud of the fact that more than 99% of the time, if you have a booking, as soon as it's done, you're gonna get your content within 24 hours. And so this is just an example of shot list. So this is, just this card that kind of outlines that, you go through this process as a client, just designing what you want your shoot to look like. And then as a crew member, you have access to this, and you can kind of see, hey, look, this is what the item we're going to be shooting, and this is the environment, and okay, they don't want any shadows, so we got to set things up this way. And they want this kind of angle. They want the camera overhead, and so this also streamlines the whole process. This goes back into why we can afford to make our content so cheap, because we know things ahead of time. We can streamline the process. We can make things go as quickly as possible without sacrificing quality, so that we can actually fit more customers in our day and kind of spread out the costs throughout the day because of that. And then we also have style quiz, where a client can go through this really fun quiz, which is part of our mission to delight our customers, and it will return this result that will this fun result that will kind of help the customer see how maybe they're wired, and help our staff to see how the customer's wired. And then our staff can go to the customer's profile, and then there's some icons in the profile that will help that will kind of indicate what kind of what kind of person the client might be, in terms of like, what are their expectations? Do they know what they want? Do they want their handheld? Do they want the scenes kind of done directly for them? Or is the client more of like a director type person? Will the client want to share, will the client want to control how things go? And so this is all about helping our crew to make their job easier, and to just kind of take away the what would normally be stressful in these kind of situations. And so some key takeaways I thought of that that might be helpful for you in your own life, your own business, is maybe, at Soona we pride ourselves on connecting tech workers with creative workers, right? And we try to make sure that the two traditional silos they don't exist, that we mingle, that we encourage as many one-on-one meetings as possible, or not one-on-one meetings, but just meetings, collaboration sessions between the two types of workers, just so that the creatives know that they have a voice, right? So like, let your creatives know that they have a platform, that they have the opportunity to share what their needs are, to share with you as a technology team what you think, what they think would make their job easier, what would make the client's experience better. And then, if you're in charge of technology, or if you're in charge of the strategy for your company, I think it's really important that you build technology that empowers your employees and the ones that you've hired because of their strengths, to focus on their strengths, because I think that's when you're really going to maximize your employees' time. And so now I'll pass it on to Rukia.
Thank you, James, for that. Okay, so the next section, our final section, is doing visual work from home. So in the beginning, you recall I mentioned that we have our locations are Minneapolis, Denver, Austin, and virtually anywhere. But what do I mean about anywhere? From my desk in my office? Yes. From my house? Yes. Completely socially distanced in a different continent? Yes and yes. 2020 disrupted normal life as we know it. Wearing masks, being 6 feet apart, social distancing has become the new norm. Soona not only pivoted during a global pandemic, but we thrived. We went from majority of in-studio bookings to 100% virtual bookings during stay-at-home orders. We set up at-home studios in our photographers' homes and made our tech more compatible with the huge global economical and business shift, so our customers continue to feel the Soona experience. So this is how Soona did it. We built in-home studios, we integrated shipping into our app and offered free shipping options, and we built remote versions of our core app. So there's 3 easy steps to have a virtual booking. It's as simple as customers order their shoots, they join their shoot live from anywhere, and they shop their shoot when they're done. So I'm gonna just walk you through a few steps. So what happens is, let's say I'm a customer and I wanna make a shoot for Twin City Startup Week. And I have some really cool products that I wanna start shooting. So what I do is I go online through our booking app and I create a booking. Then I go into and I see an option to ship your products, and we have a really cool option where you can just ship your first product for free. So I use that, I put it in the mail, and I ship it to the address that it tells me. Once the studio staff receives your booking, we schedule a booking within 72 hours, so it shouldn't take long. So once you do that and you have your your date all scheduled, you'll have a notification, and then you say, oh, I'm going to join my session. So let me show you what that looks like. So as you see in this animation, you see your shots coming in. And you also are able to live chat with your crew. And so you can be like, oh, I actually want to change the background color to, let's say, pink. That happens there. I also want to try different angles. You can do that with your chat, in the chat box, and your crew does a really good job of responding. And it's as simple as hearting something to add it to your cart. Once you're done, you shop the rest of your shoe, and you get your photos, like James mentioned earlier, within 24 hours. And that's as easy as fast casual content. So let me just dive in a little bit about how we created an at-home studio. So it's basically a photographer's studio at home. So with all the in-studio equipment, but in your house, like you can see pictured there. That's one of our photographers, Peter's at-home studio. And Peter's camera is connected to our camera to cloud application, and clients are able to see their shots live. So as soon as Peter takes a picture of that ghost, the client can see it in their dashboard, in their gallery, in real time. And if they don't like something, all they have to do is chat with Peter and say, hey, can you change this? Can you add this? Can you give me suggestions? Our crew does a really great job of utilizing their creativity skills about giving our clients amazing suggestions. Another thing I want to focus on is the shipping application. So what we do is we actually have an in-app integration where our clients can ship their products, and they can ship it, and we have it's as simple as going to the United States Postal Service, getting a box and putting your products in, and we'll handle the rest when it's done. And after that, they can also have an option to we can send it back to them, or they can donate it. And it's that easy, and Soona handles the rest. And that's the amazing part, because during a global pandemic, we could have halted all of our business, but we were really good at pivoting and finding another avenue to really make sure our clients continued to have the amazing Soona experience. So for your startup or your personal business, what are some key takeaways you can take from what we did for your business? You just need to understand there are things that you simply cannot control, but you can control how you respond. The greatest example in history by far is COVID. No one knew that 2020 would have brought that, but Soona did a really good job on controlling how they responded to the global pandemic. The second thing is prioritize what truly is important to you and your business. What is the nucleus of your business that you want to continue to iterate on? And finally, use tech to complement and take your art to the next level. And that's a great example of what we use is our at-home studio. We found a way to pivot our technology to bring studio at home so our clients could just sit in their couch, in their bathtub, wherever, and continue to have live, awesome shoots in the Soona experience. So in summary, we talked about fast, casual content, enhancing the customer experience, enhancing the photographer's job, not replacing it, giving creatives a new way to work, and finally doing visual work from home, allowing collaboration from virtually anywhere. So visit us at soona.co so you can book your next shoot. And thank you from me and my colleague James.